Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. I'm a dating and relationship expert specializing in helping you get your ex back. Today, I want to talk about how to get your ex-girlfriend back. I have an amazing success story from one of my coaching clients, and it was so important that I wanted to give it its own video instead of including it in the No Contact Success Stories videos. But before I do that, I want to tell you to be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any future videos, and while you're at it, tap the bell icon so you'll be notified when a new video is up. So I have his email here. I'm going to go through it and make comments as usual. So here we go. Hi Lucia, I just want to thank you. You were dead on. I spoke with you and took your advice. It was very, very difficult, but I resisted. Exactly 10 days later, my phone literally blew up. I mean, fanatically, to the point I did not know what to do because this is not normal to me. So he thought she was gone for good. And I told him, just hang in there, do no contact, and let's wait and see what happens. I had told you that my girlfriend is extremely beautiful and younger than me. She used to having men chase her. Well, let me tell you that, especially as a woman, just because a woman is beautiful and has a lot of men chasing her, it doesn't mean she wants them back. In fact, when you're very attractive, you can afford to be very picky. And so you're like, yeah, there's 100 guys after me, but I only want one. I mean, actually, it's the less attractive people you have to be worried about because they don't have that many people chasing them. And so if they get attention from one person, they'll go off with that one person. And so when it's someone attractive, just because they have a lot of men chasing them, it doesn't mean they're interested in them. But what it does mean is that she's not used to being ignored, and she's not used to a guy not trying to get her back. Moving on, when I finally picked up, she said, "What's your problem? I thought you loved me." Wonderful. She's angry. That's good. She has an attitude, because people usually comment and go, "My ex is angry," and they're scared. It's like, oh no, my ex is angry. I'll never get them back. No, that's what you want. You don't want your ex to be indifferent. That means they don't care. If they're angry, if they're going to bother to get angry, that means they still care. But the fact that she has an attitude tells me that she used to have the power in the relationship, which I knew from speaking with him, and that he was probably too needy, and that's why she broke up with him, even though initially she had a high interest level in him. And then when she didn't hear from him, she thought, what? He was super interested in me. He was super needy. And now he's not contacting me and he's not picking up when I call. What is going on? And so she thought that she could just push him around as usual. And that's why she started with, "What's your problem? I thought you loved me." Perfect. Okay, moving on. In fact, he says, "I wanted to laugh, but I was just shocked. At that very moment, I thought about everything you had told me." Thank God he remembered what I told him. So real cool, I said, "I'm confused. As you had said to me, I'm 100% sure that I do not want to be with you anymore. I'm completely done and don't even think of coming over here trying to fix this." See, this is why you can't pay attention to people's words most of the time when they are breaking up with you. They will say whatever they want to say, and also because she knew that he was a doormat, she could say whatever she wanted to him because she knew that he would come running back. So she could say to him, "Don't even think about coming over," knowing that he'd probably think about coming over. But he didn't. Instead, he called me, or I called him. So that's why you have to follow the no contact strategy and not your instincts, because your instincts, they will betray you when you are in a fearful state where you fear a loss. So luckily he hung in there and she reached out many, many times. Continuing on, she was silent. I continued, "Well, please explain to me why I would ever go back to you after you told me that. I'm respecting what you said to me, as hurtful as it was." Perfect. So now he's using her words against him, which is great. So when someone breaks up with you and they say something to you and then they try to come back, use their exact words and go, "Well, you told me to never contact you again. You told me to never show up at your door again. So I'm just respecting your wishes." Like, what do you want from me? She then said to me, This isn't normal. But just like that, you're going to just let it go? Boom. She could not believe that he was just going to let it go. And this, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this is at the heart of no contact. Your ex will not believe that you could just let them go without a fight. That is the power of no contact. That is why you have to say okay when someone breaks up with you, then walk away and not contact them. And especially if you had high interest level in them and you were needy, they will not be able to believe that you could, as she says, let it go just like that. But after he spoke to me, he knew that he had to do exactly that. Continuing on, he says, I said, well, wait a minute, I don't get this. Did I break up with you or did you break up with me and leave me? She said she did. And then I said, so if you broke up with me, then why in the world are you asking me why I'm going to just let it go like that? She was speechless. Well, as she should be. I felt like my balls grew as big as coconuts. I don't know what that feels like, but okay. But I was cool and calm, even though deep inside I was crying and my heart was pounding. And I wanted to say, baby, I love you so much. My heart was hurting and waiting for you to call, and you called. Yay! Well, luckily, he didn't say that. Whew. Thank God. See, you will be scared when you say these things, when you talk to your ex. But it's important that you say what you need to say. You use the strategy as opposed to what you're really feeling at that moment. And of course you're going to be scared because it's important to you to get your ex back. If someone wasn't important, your heart wouldn't be pounding. So the fact that your heart is pounding just tells you that you care. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Continuing on, we had a long talk. I laid down my expectations regarding all our issues, and she now knows what she has. That's because I told him to not just take her back, but when they did talk about getting back together, to lay down the expectations of how things would be if they were to get back together, because he was letting her get away with a lot of things, and that's why she broke up with him. So I said, don't just say, okay, we're back on. It's like, no. We're going to have a little talk here, and I'm going to tell you what I expect from you if you want me back, because now you are in a powerful negotiating position when they want you back. I know she knew she had lost me for good, and she started missing me a lot. I think we all learned something. I know I did for sure. I want to thank you for your advice, and I hope my email encourages others to hang in there. Thank you. Well, thank you. Another happy customer. Another guy that got his ex back using, yes, no contact. For all you non-believers out there that say, you can't get a girl back using no contact. Yet another example that, yes, indeed you can. So if you are interested in getting your ex back, then contact me about coaching like this guy did to see if no contact is right for you. Often it is, but you know what? In some cases, you have to do something different. But I would need to speak with you to figure out what that strategy is for your situation, because I don't do one-size-fits-all advice. I don't just tell everybody, yeah, just go into no contact. Because sometimes I'll tell my clients to do something else, and they will say to me, wow, I thought you were going to say the complete opposite of what you said. And I said, well, sometimes I throw a curveball because there are different strategies besides no contact. No contact is the most effective, but there are other things you can do. That's why it's important that I speak with you to figure out what is best for your situation. And you can reach me at my website, theartoflove.net. There is a direct link below the video. And while you're there, you can also sign up for my free newsletter. If you are listening to this on YouTube, remember to like, subscribe, and share. If you're listening on iTunes, I would appreciate if you would rate and review the podcast. And finally, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.